Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Andrew Snorton with Creative Community Solutions. And as you're aware, for our press and media work, we're so excited to cover a wide range of events from sports, arts and entertainment, government and politics, community, and more. And every so often, we get a chance to actually talk with the newsmakers who are really committed to making a difference in their respective fields. Before we have our guest introduce himself. As a reminder, the full interview that you're seeing right now will be available on our YouTube channel, Creative Community Solutions LLC. The actual article will be available on our website at asnortonccs.com. When you go to the website, click on the menu for articles and coverage, and it will take you there. And on our social media platforms, especially A Snorton CCS on Instagram, when we do our post, you can either copy and paste the link, or you can just click the link in our bio, and this will be one of the top articles that you'll see. So as you know, it's 2022, it's election season, and there are elections across the board. And I'm so excited to have a candidate for one of the state level offices for the state of Georgia. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, so first of all, Andrew, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for utilizing your platform to help inform Georgians. So my name is Raphael Baker, and I am running for insurance commissioner. Like you said, it's a statewide position. It is a position that is in the executive branch of government. That's like the governor. And a lot of people don't even know what the insurance commissioner does. But in a nutshell, pretty much the insurance commissioner regulates everything insurance related in the state. So that means we provide the licensing for the insurance professionals. We also investigate fraud, both on the consumer side and on the business side. Additionally, we're responsible for regulating all the insurance companies. So, when they want to raise or in the rare cases, reduce rates, it has to be approved by the insurance commissioner's office. Additionally, we're responsible for fire safety, and that's both residential and commercial. And when you look in the little elevators, you'll see, once I win, you'll see my name on there. But, a little bit about me, I have been in the insurance industry for over 2 decades. I started my career as a front desk receptionist in a small agency, just answering phones and taking payments. But the type of person I am, where I start off is never where I end. So I started learning more and more about the industry. The agency owner saw that, sent me to insurance school. I got licensed, moved from the front desk into an office. Fast forward, I owned my own agency for 6 years and served Georgians, all positive reviews. I really took that personally, especially for people in the Black community. I use that platform to help educate, to create educated consumers. Started a few different campaigns. I had something called No GoFundMe Funerals. Now, often you see on Facebook, our cousins, they're up there, they have these fundraisers because they did not have life insurance. So I educated, especially people of our community, to get life insurance. I always use my platform to educate and to inspire. Currently, I am with one of the major insurance companies. I'm in a leadership position. And what I do here, I'm responsible for recruiting, hiring, developing, mentoring, and leading our next generation of agency owners. So I'm paying it forward.
Wow. And I'm so glad you shared that, because part of what people want to know is your professional experience. And like you said, over 2 decades in the industry, you've seen a little bit of everything in regards to just how wide ranging the insurance industry is. In regards to your platform, I know that there's a couple of key components. Share with us 2 key aspects of your platform and how you feel, if elected, these would provide, we'll say, what benefits would these provide not only to the consumer base, but to the business base?
Okay, so first and foremost, Georgia ranks number 5 in the country for highest car insurance rates. So people are just paying astronomical amounts for car insurance. In many cases, people are paying more for their car insurance than their car payments. people are struggling. You know, we are still in the midst of a pandemic. There are many people who aren't working. You know, there are many people who can't afford it. So first of all, getting those rates lowered, that can be lowered through a variety of ways, but one of the key ways is through proper segmentation. So insurance, pretty much what happens, everybody gets put into a risk pool. And unfortunately, a lot of the companies don't properly separate those risks. So the good drivers are being penalized right alongside the bad drivers. So segmentation is important. When these insurance companies file with the Department of Insurance, not if, but when I win, I'm going to ensure that that separation takes place. Another key element of my platform is equity. Equity in insurance rates. Black people and other people of color pay more for car insurance than others. And this is because, you know, your insurance rates are based on socioeconomic factors that have nothing to do with your driving history, such as your credit score, your marital status, whether or not you own a home. And unfortunately, this disproportionately affects people in our community. So, you know, they have this association, a National Association of Insurance Commissioners. A few years ago, they started a nationwide study about the inequity in these rates. As insurance commissioner, I will be a part of that committee. And once I become part of that committee, guess what? 2 years is a long time to research. Now it's time to take action. It's time to level this playing field so all of Georgians are treated the same way.
And I'm glad you shared that, because one of the complaints of the insurance industry is the practice of redlining. And you would see that in regards to disproportionate rates regarding your automobile insurance, your homeowners, your renters, businesses based on where they were located. I'm also glad you spoke about segmenting so that way people are, quote, as close as possible paying their fair share. If you're a driver, like you said before, if you're a driver that has a solid record, you should not be in the same pool as a driver who has a not so solid record. It just sounds like it's common sense. What would you say, based on your expertise, like you said, over 20 years in the industry, why do you feel that some of these questionable practices have been going on for so long? And then second, if elected, how do you feel you're going to be able to have those, you know, let's say improved best practices, better practices implemented?
Right. So it has been going on for hundreds of years, actually. And it used to be something very obvious. And now, you know, it's a lot more undercover. So first of all, I will shine a light on this. None of these companies want the bad press or the bad PR. And the unfortunate thing is a lot of people did not realize that they were paying more. So first of all, that exposure. But secondly, because I have been in the industry for over 2 decades, I have relationships with leaders and a lot of these major carriers. So we're going to sit down and have these conversations. We're going to have these tough conversations. And if they don't want to change, guess what? I'm going to be out there in the streets, shining that light, letting my voice be heard. I'm going to knock on doors. I'm going to take meetings. I'm going to cajole. I'll take it to the churches if I have to, but I will be heard and things will change. See, I'm not just seeking change though. I'm bold. I'm audacious. I am seeking reform because, you know, like I said, right now, Georgia ranks 5 for the highest insurance payments, period, car insurance payments. So I want to change Georgia around and actually make us an example for other states to follow.
Now, let me ask you this question, because that's great how you walk through thematically what you envision. Do you see yourself, like you said, part of what you're doing is working with the actual insurance companies? Do you envision or see yourself connecting with different coalitions, consumer groups, and especially as it relates to possible policy changes? So describe to me how you envision better incorporating the consumer as well as making sure that you're working with the actual insurance industry and the businesses.
Yes, thank you. So one thing about me, I am connected with the people because for me, it's people over politics, it's people over party. I'm a person before I am a politician. And so I will have town hall meetings virtually and important, to disseminate this information, to let people really know what's going on. I'll be at the Capitol with our lawmakers, also cajoling and collaborating, etc., with them because we need them. They have to make laws that protect Georgians. And if they don't, guess what? It's time to get them out of there. So I will work on campaigning against the ones who are resistant to reform.
Okay, now let me ask you this question because in general, there's a mentality out there to varying degrees. It's Metro Atlanta and the rest of the state. To residents who are not in Metro Atlanta, what message would you like to deliver to let them know, look, it really is one Georgia, especially when it comes to what's going on insurance wise. But at times, people who are outside of Metro Atlanta feel like they're like in another universe, basically. So what would you want to say to those outside of Metro Atlanta? Because just like you're seeing these disconnects or areas of concern within, this part of the state, you're seeing it elsewhere.
So first of all, I want to let them know I'm not just going to be for Metro Georgia. I am for all of Georgia. And during this campaign season, I've had the opportunity to go outside of Metro Atlanta to talk to people. I've had some interviews up in the North Georgia mountains. I'm going down to Savannah in a couple weeks, because they really need somebody in this position who really gives a damn. And, I will personally speak with them, lay out the plan. I've heard from a lot of people, so I know what needs to be done. There's some other candidates talking about, I'm going to listen. Well, I've been in this game for 20 years. I've listened, and the people have spoken loud and clear. The people want reform, whether they are in the mountains of Georgia or whether they are in Metro Atlanta. It's consistent. People throughout the state are suffering. And I am here to make a difference. I want to end that suffering. I've been there before. So I relate, and I'm taking this message on the road.
And I'm so glad you said that and reminding people that this is an elected position. It's a cabinet position, and it represents the residents of the state of Georgia. You mentioned a couple of upcoming events, and as we know, early voting is not too far, down the road. In addition to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you mentioned you were going to be in Savannah in the upcoming weeks. Could you share with us, let's say from what you're aware of, confirmed dates of where you will be so people can directly connect and engage with you, as well as if you're aware of any virtual options for people to connect with you?
Okay, so thank you for that. So like I said, I'm in these streets. So coming up this Saturday, I'm hosting a meet and greet in Decatur. It's going to be at the new Residence Inn near Emory. So that's going to be an opportunity for people to get up close and personal. I'm not going to stand on the stage and give any big speeches. It's going to be one-on-one time. So people can ask those questions, so people can get to know me and people can get to know what I stand for. And it's not just going to be me talking, it's going to be, again, conversations, because I'm always interested in what the people want, because the people are the ones who are going to put me in office. The Savannah event is going to be the last weekend in April, and the county commissioners in the state, they host an annual conference. So I'll be down there. They're doing a buyer's mart, so that Friday and Saturday, I'm going to have a booth there. So that's another opportunity for people to talk to me, to get to know me, and to share their concerns. I love hearing about all of these different stories. You know, these people are the reason I'm running. I also have another podcast interview that's actually going to air this Wednesday. Is the North Georgia podcast. It's called North Georgia Blue. And so they cover a whole bunch of counties in North Georgia. So that's another amazing interview, and just a lot of different things. There's going to be a debate on May the 2nd that's going to stream live on Facebook. That's going to be fun. I always look forward to debates. So a little about me, you know, I'm a fighter. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
I tell you what, and I'm glad that you shared that, and you have a balance of opportunities for people, like you said, in person as well as virtual. Before we wind down, I'd like for you to share with our audience the preferred website, social media, and just ways to stay informed and engaged. So as you're making more announcements about this speaking opportunity or this debate or this networking piece or things along those lines. So again, what are the best ways for people to stay connected?
Okay, so on my website, I have a section that's specifically for events. I have my event calendar on there. So the website is Raphael, Raphael Baker, Baker 4, and that's spelled out FOR, Georgia.com. Raphael Baker for Georgia.com. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Raphael Baker for Georgia, and that's spelled out. And last but not least, Twitter, and that is Raphael Baker, the number 4, GA.
Okay, great. So I'm so glad that you shared with us a little bit of everything, your professional history, elements about your platform, engagement opportunities. So before we get ready to conclude, I always like asking if people don't remember anything else about your platform or your experience or things along those lines, what's one, and I know there's a lot, but what's one thought that you'd like to share and leave with us that we can apply, whether it's for, you know, running for office or just running across the street? What would be something that you'd like to leave with us?
One of the biggest things that I would like to leave is that you cannot sit around and wait for change. You have to become the change you want to see. And that can apply to any area in your life. If you want a better job, change that. If you want a better relationship, change that. If you don't like the way things are running in your town, your city, in the state, you can change that. You have all of the power in you. And if anything this pandemic taught us is that we don't have the luxury of time. Don't wait until it's perfect, because things will never be perfect. Take action and move. And I promise you, once you move, you put that movement behind that faith, doors will open, things will happen for you, and you will create change, no matter how big, no matter how small. But that mobility is extremely critical.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, thank you, Mr. Baker. Number one, for taking time out of your schedule. Number two, just sharing with us your story, and especially through the lens of your candidacy for insurance commissioner. And as a reminder, this entire interview that you're seeing, it will be available on our YouTube at Creative Community Solutions. And as a reminder, the article and video recap will be available on our website at asnortonccs.com. Click on the menu for articles and coverage, and it'll be one of the top articles that you will see. And as a reminder, when you add us on Instagram at asnortonccs, when we do the post, we will make sure to have the link in the comments. But if you click on the link in our bio, it will take you straight to our articles and coverage. So again, we want to thank Mr. Baker for again, taking time out to be with us, taking time to share his story of impact already and the potential impact if given the opportunity to serve as insurance commissioner. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. You have a very good day, a very good week. And remember, early voting starts a little bit early this year. It's May 3rd. So that first Tuesday of May, I'm sorry, May 2nd. So that first Monday of May. So as a reminder, please make sure that you have your voting registration status checked and confirmed. Please make sure of that, and please just be aware. We don't want you left out in the cold, all right? So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, you have a great day, a great week. We look forward to seeing you real soon.